Certainly, you're starting to see more governments, more private businesses as well, take this situation a lot more seriously.
All right, Wayne, thanks for that. The very latest there from Hong Kong. Well, now we can speak to Nicholas Thomas, who's a specialist in health security in Asia. He's also in Hong Kong and joins us live. Thank you for talking to us. Wayne was just mentioning some of the countries now that are sending in planes to airlift their citizens out of Wuhan. The Australians, we understand, are putting those onto an island in quarantine, an island that's something like 2,000 miles off the coast of the mainland. Is this the right approach to trying to contain the virus?
Thanks for having me. I mean, yes, at this stage, short of a medical intervention, there really isn't anything else we can do other than quarantine. Now, go back to history with the plague going to Europe in the 1300s. We started to see the advent of quarantine at that point. That really still is the best way of stopping a virus spread if there isn't any other form of medical intervention. In the modern sense, we see it in hospitals in terms of intensive care units. During SARS, we saw it with home quarantine being initiated in Singapore. And in Hong Kong in 2009 with the swine flu outbreak, we also saw it then with a group quarantine at the Metropole Hotel, rather.
Now, right. Sorry to interrupt, but the Chinese National Health Commission, the NHC, they have anticipated that this virus is going to peak in about 10 days, so that the number of cases is going to increase. I mean, do you agree with that? And is this inevitable, really?
Look, it's absolutely inevitable. In fact, I think throughout the end of February into early March, we're still going to see numbers rising sporadically in different places. And this is where the quarantine starts to play a role. Of course, in China these days, tens of millions of people under quarantine. It's unprecedented in scale and scope, and it's going to be imperfectly implemented. There's just too many connections. But I think what's interesting is when you look at the numbers of confirmed people who are infected, as well as those who have died from the virus, they are still contained around the major epicenter of Wuhan. What we're seeing elsewhere around China and elsewhere around the world are much smaller numbers. So although there's no direct correlation you can draw, you can actually say it has at least helped to stop the spread. And this is where, for example, British Airways and Lion Air, their decisions also start to play a more useful role in stemming the international spread of the virus.
Nicholas Thomas, thank you very much indeed, talking to us live from Hong Kong. Very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, guys, this is Healthcare Sucks, coming to you with a recorded live update this morning early. I want to hit on a few things that you might have not caught, okay? First of all, they're talking about putting people on an island, some countries are, and quarantining them that way. You know, that sounds an awful like some other things in the past. You know, good or bad, I don't know about that. And this gentleman's some kind of doctor. He's talking about they're talking about the first peak in 10 days from right now. That means Super Bowl, guys. That means after Super Bowl, we're going to see really what's going on in the United States. And I predict during Super Bowl, this whole week and over the Super Bowl weekend, we're going to see more of this. I guarantee you. If not, as Bart says, I'll eat my shorts. They might be candy ones, though. Disclaimer. No, seriously. Then he talks about February, March, that this is going to go on in the numbers and stuff. Play it back a couple times and listen to it. He says February and March. I got some other news for you too. With you people have an open mind that have been watching at the border and all are not caught up on this hokey pokey over good or bad on the border. The ones that know that diseases have been coming across, I covered that in some previous videos. That people were bringing in diseases, and there was some kind of hokey pokey law in California, and other ones that if they said, oh, I feel fine, even if a doctor said they were sick, they released them. So we need to be watching that. In addition, I'm going to be reviewing some information I heard from one of the people I worked with on some of the border news down there. And he seems to have a contact that is talking underground through some of the gang things, the coyote type situations, and legally coming across at the border right now that flights into Mexico from Wuhan and other places in China, that people are getting in that way right now, guys. Not to paranoid you out or to make you one way or another in the wall, because most people have already decided on that. I'm just telling you, there's a damn good reason to keep an eye on that right now. And with that, guys, I'll keep up on this. I'll try to get some airfare news tomorrow or the next day. I'm kind of busy tomorrow, but we'll see. And I'll try to put that story together a little bit more about the coyote situation and people from Wuhan, etc. It sounds far-fetched, but it's really not if you use your brain. I mean, if you got the money, honey, they'll get you across. And people are desperate right now. All right, guys, and with that, remember, healthcare sucks! Over and out, and thank you for viewing. And God bless you and your families, and hope we get through this together. Have a great day.